Hello and welcome to EDUC837. It's Institutional Assessment in Higher Education. This is a new course for Bethel, and it's a new course, obviously, then for me as well in teaching it. And so I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that it will be a very good experience for you as well. My goal for this course was to make it as applied as possible. Basically, I'm taking you through what an assessment director would go through. There's a lot of the things that an assessment director would go through, and so it'll be very applied in that way. Your reading is cut down quite a bit. It's very straightforward. So your textbook here is Assessment Clear and Simple by Barbara Wahlberg, really a top expert in this area in institutional assessment. And I think I know she is so well liked and well respected in this area because her practices are clear and simple. Very straightforward. One of the things when you start talking about assessment in higher education is the doable and durable principles for this, that you can get really complex really quick, and if you do that, it's not durable. It's not going to last because faculty and departments in higher education are taxed with enough things that they need to do. So assessment needs to be clear and simple and straightforward. And so that will be the focus for this course. In this course, along with that textbook, there's lots of reading that is online in the public domain, and all of that reading is applicable directly to the different assignments that you have within the course. So you have three different kind of categories of assignments, I guess we'll say, for this. You have the forums that you'll be discussing from what it is that you're reading in a couple different areas. You're reading in the textbook, your online reading, but in this course I'm also requiring that you participate in the Assess listserv. I think that's going to be very helpful for you to see what are people in this area, in this domain, what are they talking about nationally. What you're also going to see is, if you become very interested in this area, that this is one of the few areas in higher education where institutions are hiring. And so you'll see plenty of job posts online through this listserv. But I think you'll find we'll spend some time talking in the forums about what are people talking on a national level about, what are they asking about, what are they talking about on this assessment listserv. And I think you'll find it a very interesting one as well. People who do work in assessment are very helpful to one another. It's not a very competitive environment, it's a very collaborative environment. So you'll have the forums. You have a few minor assignments within this. We'll be critiquing some spiritual development surveys. We will be looking at inter-rater agreement, because that's a very important aspect of the use of rubrics and trying to figure out, okay, how reliable is the use of rubrics? You'll be creating a survey within Qualtrics, so you have access to really a premium survey tool, online survey tool. And so that part is more for you to understand how it is that you could use that to create surveys and to send surveys out to see the types of results that you would get from that. So those are some of the what we'll categorize the more minor assignments, and then you have a set of major assignments. Assessment report evaluation. So I'm going to be giving you actual assessment reports from departments, and you're going to do some evaluations of those. You're going to be using a rubric and evaluating those, and then from your evaluation you're going to pair up with someone else who's had to evaluate those same reports, and that's where you'll see what your inter-rater agreement is in the use of those, in your scoring of those with the rubrics. And you'll have an assessment. Another assignment will be an assessment plan to either devise or to completely develop or to revise. And so you can you can create one on your own for a particular department, depending on where you're at. If you're in a department, or if you're in a particular area in student life, or in other areas at the institution where you may be at, you can take that task on for that particular department that you're in, or you can take existing ones that I give to you and make some revisions to that assessment plan. And then you'll also have one to where you're going to be looking at some nationally normed data. So I'll give you some examples. I'll give you some data from various instruments that are used nationally. Some are, for example, NSSE, the National Survey of Student Engagement, or from Noel Levitt's, the Student Satisfaction Inventory, or one of the hot ones has been the Collegiate Learning Assessment, the CLA. And so it's for you to be, how do you take that data in, integrate it, analyze it, synthesize that information, and how would you then express that to the institution? It's not an easy assignment, but it's what people like me in the position I have at Bethel University, what we need to do. Speaking of that, as an aside, I don't think I actually ever introduced myself, and so I'm Dr. Joel Fredrickson. I chair the psychology department here at Bethel, but and I am also the Associate Dean for Institutional Assessment and Accreditation, and so that's why Craig Paulson has plucked me out to teach this course, and I have a very difficult time saying no to Craig Paulson. And then the last one is in a final assessment report as well, for you to write up a report. I'll give you some mock data based on your assessment plan that you either developed or revised, and for you to write up that report. And what you'll use for that is what's already in this textbook. So Walver will walk you through how it is that you would write that report. So again, to sum up, this course is meant to be very applied. It's meant for you to see what it is that assessment directors do in this discipline, what assessment looks like in higher education. So for you to get a sense of that, how it is to write outcomes, and so the pitfalls that can take place with that, and how to evaluate all of that. And so I hope you enjoy the course in that way. It's meant to not be, this is not as theoretical of a course as it is an applied course. So again, you'll feel free to contact me at any point in time with questions with the course, and welcome.